Yo everybody, my name is Mr. Turtle, and in this video I'm going to be going over some skiing injury stories. Let's dive right in. So for story 1, I was at my local mountain in the terrain park, around 7 to 10 years old, and I was hitting this one jump. I really enjoyed it. It was wonderfully made, and I really thought, hey, I want to go bigger on this, because I'd been hitting it and I'd been landing right around the knuckle to just barely clearing it. So I decided, hey, right now I'm probably going about straight, so this time I'm going to go a bit faster. So I'm about to drop in and just take a deep breath, and I start going. I'm straight lining it down. I'm like, hey, I feel like I'm not going fast enough. I go a bit faster, and I come off the lip. I'm flying, I'm going, and about halfway through, I look down and I go, well, I'm done. I had aired it way too big and was about to land about 20 feet down at flat, which, man, my legs at that point hurt just thinking about it. So I'm sitting there like almost a freeze frame type thing going, I'm done. I'm not skiing away from this. This is going to hurt a ton. A lot. And I just kind of take the position for about to crash. And I start going down, and I land it. All right, I land on my skis. I don't land on my butt, whatnot. I land on my skis. But because I was ever so slightly leaning back, I had whiplash to like an insane level. I hit my head, and because I landed on my skis, I actually ended up with some forward momentum that kept me going forward. And, I got up. I'm still going forward. And, little 7-year-old to 10-year-old me is sitting there going, let's go! I just soared like forever. It was awesome. Yay! But my ski instructor thought I was yelling in vain because I was in pain. But I wasn't, thankfully. And, I didn't really honestly feel really any pain until the next morning when I woke up. I could not move my neck at all. My whiplash was so bad, I couldn't turn my head from side to side, and pretty much any strain on my neck, like trying to get up, hurt it incredibly. So I ended up, every time I needed to get up, holding my neck, so I didn't have to engage it. It hurt that bad. But thankfully, I recovered within a few days, and it didn't really affect me too much. Then we have story number 2. This one's kind of embarrassing because I was on a flat cat track, and, well, I sprained my shoulder and ended up busting up my goggles. So I was coming back from the terrain park towards the end of the lift, I was coming back from the terrain park, going back to the lift for an end of day sort of run back to the car. And, I try to slow down using a side slip, which if you don't know what that is, it's basically when you have your 2 skis and you just kind of pivot them 90 degrees and use it to stop. And usually I can do this very, very easily, even in my sleep. And for whatever reason, this time, something was off, and I ended up catching my front edge. And because I was going so fast, I ended up just wham right into the hard-packed snow. And I tried to catch myself, big mistake, and I ended up, when I fell, doing this measure and spraining my shoulder. And I actually hit so hard that even though my shoulder absorbed most of the blow, when my goggles hit, because they're magnetic, they ended up popping out halfway. So I was dangling, I had snow in them, but then one of the magnets actually was twisted because it hit so hard, and I had to push it back in to fix it. Thankfully, they weren't broken, and I was able to keep riding them for the rest of the season, and they were awesome. Still one of the best goggles I've ever ridden. And, I work my way back down to where my dad's waiting for me, and he's looking for me because I just, fell, and I was right behind him, so now I'm a little further behind. And I try to call out to him, but he doesn't hear me because there's a billion people around skiing. So I just kind of end up sitting there, still clicked into my boots, just with my, just sitting on the snow, just, my shoulder. And I end up, he sees me or finds me, and we end up going back to the car and putting my arm in a sling. I was okay, but I had to wear a sling for a few days and then have a few more days of rehab. But overall, pain wasn't that bad, and I was able to heal pretty quickly. Then we have story 3. This is the worst skiing injury I have ever had by far. So, I was skiing with a buddy, his dad, and my dad. So it was the three of us, or four of us. And my buddy, his dad, and my dad all go one way to the lift, or to the bottom of the lift. And I go a different way because it's more fun for me, and I really was enjoying it the past few days when I've been doing it. And, I'm bombing down this run, and I hit a mogul, and I plan on just jumping over the mogul into the next mogul. That's how I usually do it. But I didn't have quite enough speed. I didn't clear it, so I hit the back of the mogul I was trying to gap, and when I hit, I just went over the handlebars, and my left ski popped out immediately. Honestly, it worked perfectly. But my right leg didn't pop out as quick, and my nose ended up catching a bump, and ended up twisting my ankle to about 90 degrees, and totally spraining my ankle, and then it popped out. Then, I catch myself, I hit my head, which will be important in a little bit, and I'm kind of like, crap, I just got hurt, that was stupid. So I ended up putting my left ski on. My right ski was a bit harder because I couldn't put very much pressure on my right foot because of my sprained ankle. But I ended up making it to the bottom of the lift, where my buddy, his dad, and my dad were all like, dude, are you okay? What took you so long? And I vividly remember just sort of like not sitting there, but kind of just like standing there, just like, I don't know. Because at this point, I was just kind of get to the bottom of the lift, so then if you are really hurt, people can check on you. But I ended up sitting there for quite a few minutes, and when I first came in, I was feeling okay. Yes, my ankle, I could feel it swelling in my ski boot, but it wasn't too bad. And after just 30-ish seconds of me being able to just sit there and like, okay, what happened? Like, am I okay? It hits me. I have a terrible headache. I hear a ringing in my ears. It feels like I'm about to throw up. I have colors dancing across my vision. And I realize I just got a concussion. And it was the first concussion I had ever had, and it sucked so much. And I never want to get a concussion again if it's anything like that. It was so bad, and I couldn't do anything about it. So, finally, I'm like, no, like, I will not be able to ski, like, down to the car. Or I won't be able to go up, take another lap, and whatnot. So, my buddy and his dad leave because they were visiting. And my dad sort of pulls the, hey, we can either ski back to the car, because we were close at that point, or we can wait for ski patrol, which will probably take about 30 minutes. And I had to consider that because I didn't want to wait that long, but I also didn't want to have to put in all the physical effort of skiing to the car. Finally, because I didn't want to wait that long, I said, all right, we'll try to go to the car, and if I can't do it, then we can just call ski patrol. So I ended up actually being able to ski to the car, and it was really difficult because I could only use my arms. So I was basically lifting up one foot and then pushing with my arms pretty much the entire way. It was mostly flat with a little bit of uphill. And thankfully my headache started to clear, and I was a bit more clear-headed, but I still could not remember the events of the crash very well. Even now, I think that's what happened, but due to the concussion, I can't be 100% sure. But we get to the car, and I take off my helmet. I don't have anything wrong with my head other than my concussion. I'm not bleeding anything. And then I try to take off my boot. And it takes like 5 minutes to take off my boot because my ankle is so swollen and it hurts so bad to touch it. And that was really kind of like, oh, this is serious. Like everything else, that's just could have been adrenaline induced. We weren't quite sure yet. And I'm like, no, like this hurts really, really bad. So was able to get my boot off, went home, my mom checked me up, and I ended up having a concussion and a medium sprained ankle, which for me was really sad because the next day I had a ski program, and I was really hoping to be able to go to that ski program, but sadly, because of my ankle, there was no shot I was going. I ended up being able to say hi, but that was about it, and I ended up in the lodge watching movies all day. The next week I tried to ski, but I couldn't. I took like 2 laps, and my ankle was killing me, so I stopped and just kind of watched movies in the lodge all day once again. And yeah, that was kind of it for that injury. The next week I was fine and kept on skiing. Alright, so I got a quick little bonus story. I didn't really get hurt in this, but it's just kind of funny. So at my local mountain, we have this cliff. It's probably about 10 to 15 feet big, and I was trying to hit it. It was this nice powder day, and I was going up to it. I was about to drop, and when I finally dropped for my first time ever hitting it on that size specifically, I landed just a little bit too far forward when I came off, and ended up double ejecting and penguin sliding like 20 feet down the run. Ultimately, I was able to stop myself, but it was one of the funniest things I had ever done skiing, purposefully or not purposefully, and every year I'd just have to sort of look at it and go, I did that. Because it's such a funny video, especially because it's just like, got it, oh, nope, don't got it. And I assumed the perfect penguin sliding position when I did fall. Like, arms tucked in the side, got the little deal like that, so yeah, I mean, that was a pretty funny thing. I didn't really get hurt, but hey, it was pretty funny. Alright, so that's the end of this video, guys. Hope y'all have a good one, and see ya! Bye!